I'm Mike Weisman.
I'm Matt Dechaine.
And this video series is everything about living, working, and playing in the real Portland, Maine. All right, well, this morning we are on a site of a septic inspection over here in the town of Bowdoin, and I'm with Jason Lamoureux from Maine Inspections, going to do our septic inspection for us. So, Jason, tell us a little bit about what we're going to do today.
Perfect, yeah. So basically we want to take a look at three components of the septic system. We want to look at the septic tank, and we want to take a look at whatever distributes the effluent to the distribution field, and then we want to take a look at the field itself. So we'll get under the home, find a clean out there, camera out to the tank so I can locate where the tank is, check out the condition of the tank, and we'll camera from there to the distribution box, get a look at the condition of the box, and then use that location to camera out to the leach field so that I can expose an area or two of the leach field and get a look at the condition of that, as well as just the surrounding lay of the land and any vegetation that may be on the leach field. So put it all together in a single report and see how it turns out.
Awesome. Now, septics are really important. I probably got to be 80% of the homes in Maine are going to be on septic.
A lot of urban homes, suburban homes, and out in the country, homes have septic systems, as well as some towns. The town that I'm from, Bowdoin, we have no sewer division at all. Everybody in the entire town is on a septic system. So it's definitely a large majority of the state is on septic.
Right.
And right now, anything that's within 200 feet of the shoreline, the ocean, has to be inspected as part of a real estate transaction. And coming up next year, any home within 200 feet of any water source will have to be inspected as part of a real estate transaction. So it's becoming more and more popular service.
Right, so that's starting in year 2020, right?
Correct.
What goes into effect. So septic inspections, if you guys are looking at houses that are not in the city or in Portland or out of the areas in the suburbs, you're most likely going to have a septic inspection to take a look at.
Correct.
Awesome, let's get to it.
So what I have here, I ran my camera through the clean out below the home and into the septic tank. The camera head has a sonde inside the head, and this is a locator that locates the 512 frequency that the sonde gives off inside the camera head. So
right, so we found a tank, basically.
Run the camera to the tank,
right.
Use the locator, find out where the camera head is. Now I know where the tank is. I can expose the tank. Then we'll do the same process again for the leach field.
There you go.
Hopefully we'll get near the cover on the first shot.
How far down are the tanks normally?
We like to see the covers within 12 inches of grade. This one seems like it's a little deeper than that, so I will definitely recommend installing a riser on this tank. A riser is basically like a plastic culvert, maybe 2 feet around, set over the opening and extended to the ground or just below the ground so that you don't have to do this every time you need the septic tank serviced or pumped out. Makes it a lot easier access.
All right, after a lot of digging, we finally uncovered the tank.
Yes, we did.
And there it is.
So the leach field could possibly be on the side.
Could be.
Good news. Two good news. Good news is the baffle is still there on the inlet. So the inlet pipe comes in and there's a concrete wall in front of that pipe.
Yeah.
That designs from blowing a bunch of solids and everything to the end of the tank and overloading the outlet.
Right.
So they have a nice concrete wall. Everything kind of hits there and settles appropriately. The other good news is this is actually the clean out where you'll have it pumped. So we could leave this exposed and have a riser put on. So we just exposed the outlet side of the tank, and what we're looking for in here, the same as the inlet, we're looking for a baffle, something to stop solids, toilet paper, wipes, grease and hair, that sort of stuff from getting down into the leach field. So we should see either a concrete wall in front of the outlet pipe or a sanitary tee installed on the end of the outlet pipe that's going to prevent those solids from getting into the pipe and running out into the leach field. This one here, you can see the pipe is going out here. There should be a concrete wall here that's just been eaten away due to age, and you can see a lot of the solids that are making their way into that outlet pipe. And those will clog up the leach field, causing it to not flow properly. So now we'll run the camera out, locate the leach field, and see the condition of that. Love that splash. My camera's pushing. Here it's starting to flow in.
Yeah.
My camera head has actually cleared a blockage of solids, wipes and whatnot. That's opened up a path, and now it's dumping off a lot more water because of what the camera head's clearing out of the way. So we're going to come to one of two things. We're either going to come into a concrete chamber. It's called a distribution box. It'll be a concrete chamber with outlet pipes running out each direction, or we're going to go directly into a plastic pipe T or plastic chamber. So that's what we're checking. I'm guessing with the age of the system it would be a distribution box, and there it is. We're in it. More digging. Distribution box looks good from the camera. This is the distribution box. So now that we know where everything is, it looks as though this raspberry patch right here is the leach field. So that's what you're seeing flat right here. Okay, so we ran the camera from the outlet pipe of the septic tank and found the distribution box, and inside of here are 3, 4, 5 pipes that exit the distribution box to distribute evenly to the leach field. This is about a 12 by 12 inch concrete chamber with a concrete cover on top. And what we often see, especially where this is located, is kind of in a driving area, and it looks like they've had excavation in here recently. This cover is pretty broken on the top, so I look inside, you can see the cracks and fissures there of where it's basically collapsed and been broken. So I'm going to expose a corner of it so that I can check out the pipes inside, but this will need to have a new distribution box cover installed. So pushing the camera through here, I don't know if you can see, my camera mic can get right in on there. See how everything's kind of black? So my camera head's clogged up with debris right now, and then I pull back, you can see the wad of debris and this is inside of the absorption field distribution pipes. So we shouldn't see any solids like that, as well as no water. We're not running any water into the system right at the moment, so the pipes are holding water, which tells me that it's not percolating out of the field, and you can see the water level rising as I push the solids back. More water is trying to flood in, so the leach field doesn't appear to be absorbing the effluent the way that we like to see it, and I'm assuming it's just due to the age of the leach field as well as the amount of solids that are built up inside of these lines. Basically, the leach field is going to have to be replaced. First step will be to have a new design done. So you'll have to have a soils engineer, somebody certified from the state, come out. They'll check out the property, get the proper distances. Like also looking right now, looks like a newer well. You're probably not within the right setbacks from the well. This should be 100 feet from the well. I'll measure it, but I'm guessing by looking that it's too close to the well. So that engineer is going to have to come in, they'll test the soils, they'll design a new leach field wherever they can find the right soils and it fits on the property. Once you have that design done, then you can take that to a contractor who can give you a price on installing the system.